recapture the form they've largely shown in Europe and get another victory. They'll be in a very strong position indeed. It is Nice against Rangers. It's live here in Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Neil McCann is sticking with us. We'll hear a bit more from him and your commentary team of Stephen Thompson and Al Lamont.
Thanks very much, Richard. Welcome to the Grand Stade de Nice, where Rangers will attempt to build on a very impressive recent away record in Europe and bolster their chances of qualifying from the league stage. Nice, for their part, desperately need the victory, sitting on just 2 points at the halfway stage. Unlike Rangers, their best performances this season have come domestically, but tonight they need to take that into the Europa League, or elimination will soon beckon. Stephen mentioned the ultras section. It's called L'Armée Rouge et Noire, the red and black army, and a good band of fans across there to our right-hand side. The Rangers fans are principally gathered across to our left on the far side, travelling in their numbers again. But as Stephen also pointed out, apart from that, the stadium is weirdly half empty, and although there is plenty of atmosphere coming from those ultras, not the backing that Nice perhaps would have wanted. It's a fixture with some real history to it. Nice were Rangers' first ever European opponents back in 1956. Both sides recording 2-1 home wins before the French team won a playoff in Paris. That was the last time the two met. Plenty at stake here tonight on the Côte d'Azur, as fans across their right let off a series of flares. It's certainly quite a spectacle, although I'm not sure that's how UEFA will view it. The two teams then gathered on the field of play. Great view we've got from up high in the stand in the media tribune. And Rangers all in blue tonight. Nice team in the red and black stripes, a la AC Milan. White shorts, white socks, as Jack Butland makes his way back from the halfway line. Captain for tonight makes his way back all in yellow towards his goal. Rangers, just to recap their lineup, it is Butland, as I mentioned, Sterling, Suter, Proper and Jefty, the defence, Raskan and Barron, Diamondi just ahead of them, you would imagine, Czerny and Bayrami wide, and Igman given the task of leading the line for Rangers, and he is the man standing in the centre circle with the ball at his feet, poised to get us underway as soon as Nice break out of their huddle, which is just outside the centre circle. Then the referee from Bilbao, Ricardo de Burgos, just having a look at his watch and waiting for the French outfit to join the fray. And they break out of that huddle, and Marcin Bulka, the Polish goalkeeper, makes his way back, away down to our right-hand side. Rangers going from left to right then, as we look at it from the main stand here in the Grand Stade de Nice, or the Alliance Riviera as it is commonly known domestically, but for sponsorship reasons, I guess UEFA are reverting to the original title of the Grand Stade de Nice. Igman then poised over the ball, and we are underway in the south of France as Rangers look to add to the points that they won in both Malmo and Athens on the roads in Europe, as well as the victory at home against FCSB. The only blot in their copybook really has come at home against Lyon. Nice sitting a point above Lyon in the French league just at the moment, although when I watched them on Sunday winning after a fashion against Strasbourg, coming from behind, they didn't, I have to say, look at the same level as that Lyon side that came to Ibrox and absolutely blew Rangers away. But we shall see. It's a much changed side, as I mentioned earlier on, half a dozen changes from that victory over Strasbourg, as Igman chests it down on the halfway line and knocks it back to Sterling, who gets it back out to Igman on the right-hand side. Good control as he comes forward and tries to shake off his marker, then rather stumbles, but he's still got possession, showing good strength. Bexley manages to get it to Czerny, just in the angle of the box. He's going to open up for Czerny. Deflection on that shot, I thought, but the referee thought otherwise, and points for a goal kick. But bright opening by Igman, and half a chance there for Václav Czerny.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it'll do Igman's confidence the world of good to get that first touch away, secure the ball, lay it off, and then he goes on a good run down the right-hand side of the pitch. The ball breaks to Czerny about 19 yards out. I thought he'd have tried to curl it, but he goes for power, and the shot, as soon as it left his foot, was always swaying away to the left-hand side. No deflection, Alistair.
OK, well, I'll take your word for that. And the referees. 0-0 then in the opening minutes. You listen to Sports Center on BBC Radio Scotland, our second European match of the night. Bad news for Hearts out in Belgium. Let's see if Rangers can produce a positive result as Jefte gets his head to the ball out left-hand side. Rangers on the defensive just at the moment, but the Brazilian plays it infield to Diamonde, who is playing in that more advanced midfield role, which hasn't really excelled in, you would have to say, since being pushed a little bit further forward, partly because of the good form of Raskin and Barron in those roles. But Rangers giving the ball away, and it's first chance for Nice to come forward. It's Moukoko trying to get the ball out of his feet. Sterling in the way to intercept the pass. Barron squeezes it forward to Raskin, and Rangers might be able to do something on the counter here. It's Diamonde crossing the halfway line. Igman trying to stay onside. Diamonde holding on to possession and playing it back to Czerny. He goes back the way to Suter and out to the left-hand side to Jefte, just inside the Nice half. Left-hand side as Rangers come forward. Gets it back from Bayrami. Jefte back to Proper, just inside Nice territory. Back the way once more to Raskin on the halfway line, and square for Suter. Sterling wants it out right-hand side and gets it. Midway inside the Nice half, looks up, plays it into the penalty area. It's just a couple of yards ahead of Igman, and safely through to Bulka in the Nice goal. And after 3 minutes here, it's Nice 0, Rangers 0.
Decent spell of possession that from Rangers, working the ball out to this right-hand side for Dujon Sterling. I felt as though he could have taken the ball forward, but he decided to cross it early, and as Neil was pointing out, he doesn't have the same quality of crossing as James Tavernier, who's on the bench this evening. Just kind of threw it in far too close to the goalkeeper for Nice. But Rangers have a bright enough start to this game.
Yeah, Butland getting a touch of the ball as the ball's rather carelessly played forward by Nice, and he just bowls it out to Proper. Preferred this evening to Balogun. Back with Jack Butland just on the edge of his 6-yard box. And the fans across the right still making plenty of noise, belying the rather paltry numbers inside the 36,000 capacity stadium. Played forward onto the head of Proper, and forward looking for Diamonde, but it's picked up in the midfield by Boudaoui. Out to the right-hand side as Lucier comes forward, and it's a good bit of play from the full-back. Well challenged though, but it will break the way of Nice, and a shooting ball opportunity. That is not far away from the opening goal. Jack Butland flew to his right-hand side, but he was getting absolutely nowhere near it. And the shot that came in from fully 25 yards, a blistering effort, but just off target, and it remains Nice 0, Rangers 0.
I tell you what, that has to have been close. I mean, we don't have a monitor up here, but I thought it was going to nestle right in the top right-hand corner of Jack Butland's goal. It was an incredibly well-hit shot from about 22, 23 yards out. Slight angle, the ball broke to him. I think it was Bunani that got the shot away on his left foot. Inches it must have been past the post. What an effort.
Yeah, well, Neil is watching the pictures back in the studio, so perhaps for bits and pieces like that we'll be able to cross back to him. But for the moment we'll continue here in the Grand Stade de Nice. It was indeed, as Stephen says, the Algerian Bouhanani who got plenty on that shot as it flew past the upright of Jack Butland, the first real opening for the home side.
Well, but, unlike you guys, I'll jump in just to give you an idea of how close it was. It was in inches. It's maybe about a foot wide, but I tell you, had it been on target, Jack Butland's not getting there. It was absolutely fizzed.
Thanks, Neil. Good bit of clarity there for us as Nice come forward once more. Barred into the penalty area. Rangers haven't got it clear. A big chance. Good save. Butland comes to Moukoko. Somehow kept out by the Rangers backline. Claims there was a handball used. Sterling forces it behind. The referee points to the penalty spot though. It's a handball being indicated, and Nice have the penalty. The Rangers look like they survived there somehow as the defence looked all at sea. Butland with the original save, then a block came in, but the referee ultimately pointing to the spot, and unless the VAR is going to change his mind, then Nice will have a massive opportunity inside 7 minutes here to open the scoring.
I think it's Robin Proper. The first shot came in, Rangers seemed to just fall asleep as the shot came in. It was parried by Butland out. Then another shot fired at the Rangers goal. 2 Rangers players dived in front of it. One of them was Proper, who's now talking to the referee. The referee kind of hesitated 2-3 seconds, then pointed to the spot. Proper seems to be saying that his arm wasn't away from his body, but again, no monitor. So
Stevie, I'm not sure this is a penalty, honestly. I know what you're saying, you're right. Both him and Suter are really committing themselves to block. I've only had one look at proper look where you can see it, and I don't think it's a penalty. Now I might be wrong if we get another angle, but it looks like John Suter doesn't think, right, he's looking innocent. It's not him, so it's Proper, and I don't think his arm's away from his body. He's tried to keep him in, but
the referee's going to go to the monitor here, and I think Rangers might just survive this call if he has been advised by his fellow Spaniard Guillermo Quadra to come and have another look. And it might be that, as Neil was saying and as Stephen suggested at first sight as well, that the penalty was a harsh call for the handball, and Robin Proper might just have got away with it. You have to say, Stephen, that initially, as you also mentioned, there was a fair bit of dithering going on before the eventual shots came in.
Yeah, the very first shot, it just seemed to break into the box, and all the Rangers defenders were standing watching.
Guys, what they're showing here is not the one you think. It's Dujon Sterling, and actually I don't think that's a penalty either. His hand, he's tucked right in, it hits his elbow. It's on the cross back into the box they're now looking at, after the block from Proper.
Yeah, so that was when Sterling essentially forced the ball behind for a corner.
Exactly, yes. That's what they're looking at.
The one that was being claimed for initially, but it was the one the referee, after which the referee gave the spot kick. So if that's the one the VAR are showing, then clearly that is the one that the referee has decided should have been
honestly,
a penalty.
we're getting another look here, Al. You're not going to believe it. There's a challenge before it that incident that goes to Sterling. It's now Connor Barron's been looked at. You guys had two different incidents to go and have a look at.
I felt as though that one might have been a penalty. I thought he caught him.
Connor Barron, there might be a little nick in the ball.
Here comes the referee.
There might be a little nick in the ball.
He's waving the players away.
I don't think it's a penalty either, you know.
No penalty.
Yeah.
Rangers with a real let-off here in the opening minutes.
That has to be a first when there's been
There's 3-1 there. 3-1 and none of them are a penalty.
That's incredible.
Now the referee's trying to explain to the players how he's going to restart the game here. I think he's just going to drop the ball at the feet of Jack Butland. So Rangers have got away with that one, that's for sure. A real scare for them. Some uncertain defending, a really good save by Jack Butland, some desperate defending, which ultimately I suppose goes down as some good blocks, but they put themselves in that position in the first place. So 9.5 minutes in, and it is still goalless, but Rangers surviving a big scare there as they thought they were about to concede a penalty. And the game restarts and Butland launches it upfield. That's repelled. Diamondi tries to pick it up in the middle of the park. Out to Barron, right-hand side. Back the way he goes to Suter in the halfway line. He'll go back to Butland once more. Butland left-footed this time, over the halfway line, looking for Igman. Igman trying to...
There's no point in playing that ball up to Igman in the air like that. You know, he's not got the physical presence or height. If we're going to play it to him, it's got to be to his chest or feet. That's twice now Butland's kicked from deep positions to the kind of head of Igman, and the defender's got the better of him.
There's Igman picking up, gets his head to that one. Bayrami gets it back from Igman. Rangers through here. Charlie's with him. Igman's to his left. It's Igman with the opportunity. They've taken it too long, too wide. And the chance is gone. Was a 3-on-1 situation, and somehow Rangers managed to make a mess of it. And the chance is gone as a sliding challenge comes in there from Proper. Catches his man. The free kick's given. This has been a really hectic start to this game.
Well, Rangers were kind of fortunate. They got the break of the ball, and then Bayrami's away. He's got Charlie to his right-hand side. I felt as though he could have slipped him in, but he chose Igman, who's going on his left-hand side. It was a 3v1. He plays in, Igman. He's got to hit the shot. He goes to try and do what you've seen Dessers do in the past and chop back in. Hit your shot, get your shot away. You'll not get a better chance than that. I mean, that is a proper sitter there from Igman, and really Rangers should be 1-0 up in that 3v1 situation. And they actually played the start of the situation well by Rami, by selecting the pass, just hit the shot.
Yeah, well, chances at both ends in the early stages here, none of them taken, but that was a big opportunity for Rangers on the breakaway, and it's been the kind of source of a number of their goals in Europe when they have been able to play on the counter-attack, but that one did not come off for them as Hamza Ikman rather delayed his effort. Stephen said chopping back in to try and get it onto his right foot when the first time shot looked on. Here's Yusuf Moukoko on loan from Borussia Dortmund at Nice, switching the play out to this near side, the Nice left, midway inside the Rangers half. It's Melvin Barr who scored a cracking equaliser for Nice at the weekend against Strasbourg. Now it's Kamara, the youngster in the midfield, plays it back the way to his captain Dayashimi. Forward come Nice, out to the left hand side, slipped forward, and Jack Butland will just see that out of play, as will John Souttar, just shepherding it out as Laborde looked to get on the end of the pass. But we'd have to say, Stephen, it's very, very open in these early stages as Dayashimi's down here now. As I say, he was one of the players who's been a doubt. He missed the Strasbourg game, having come off early for Burundi on international duty against Senegal. He's down in the middle of the park. And this will be a concern for Nice, who are already down to the bare bones in terms of their squads. And I mentioned the three outfield players, or the first team regulars who are on the bench. None of them are defenders. And the centre-back needing treatment here. They will very much hope they can patch him up and get him back playing.
Yeah, he certainly doesn't look comfortable, but to go back to your original point, it has been a very open game. Nice are committing lots of players forward, as you'd expect, because they've got to go and win this game, but by doing so, they're leaving themselves quite exposed at the back. Quite often just the two centre-halves being left to deal on their own, because the full-backs are pushing so high and so far forward. But this would be a big problem for them if what you're saying is true. They've not got anybody on the bench that can come in. Maybe one of the younger players that you mentioned hadn't even made their debut as a centre-half. It might be have to who they...
Yeah, there's certainly two or three defenders among them, but completely untested at this kind of level, that's for sure. And this looks like it might have been a calculated risk by Fonquez, the Nice coach, who himself had to be taken to hospital on Sunday after that game against Strasbourg. He had a severe migraine, and there were concerns that there was some sort of neurological problem there. That's why he went for checks. Happily, he was released following those tests, and it was simply put down as a migraine. But he's back on the bench and says he's fully fit and ready to be involved himself. But I'm not so sure you can say the same about his captain out there, Yusuf Dayashimi, who's still being treated. It's unclear, I have to say, as to whether it's the same injury that has caused them issues in the last couple of weeks, but he's still being looked at. The referee's asking the physios to take him across to the side if he's able to walk off, which he's doing right now. He doesn't look entirely comfortable as he makes his way off the park. Václav Černý, I think, offering some words of consolation. The ball is in the arms of Jack Butland. We've had 15 minutes on the clock.
It's going to be a long half.
I think we've played about 5 minutes of football as Dayashimi tries to jog off there and just shake off that injury. But we'll see whether he re-emerges in the next minute or two. Rangers back underway then, as Dayashimi signals that he will come back on and give it a go, but still down to 10 just at the moment as the fourth official holds him back. Rangers unable to take advantage as they turn back the way, and Dayashimi's desperate to get back on. I don't know why on earth they wouldn't let him on, because Rangers have played it forward down that right channel. Barron can't find a teammate, but Černý picks up the loose ball. Diamonde, and then Sterling comes back to Černý, right hand side, back out to Sterling, slides it forward looking for Diamonde. Dayashimi is back on at the heart of the defence. Let's see if he's able to see out the game as Černý and Sterling play it between them on the right hand side in an advanced position for Rangers. Now Barron back into Raskan at the heart of the midfield inside the Nice half. Barron once more into Černý. back with Barron. He looks up. Czerny made the run, but he was going to go into an offside position, so it's Sterling who is the target, and then Barron gets it back to Raskan. Rangers enjoying plenty of possession at the moment, but not exactly meaningful possession. They have had a couple of chances early doors. Eagman with the best of those, but choosing to come back inside rather than take the shot on as Jefty bursts forward from the left-hand side. Good run from Jefty. Takes the shot on the right foot. That's not far away from Jefty. Claims for a corner. The referee didn't see a touch, nor did I. Behind for a goal kick. Really powerful and purposeful run from Jefty. And the shot was troubling the keeper, but just a yard or so wide.
Excellent from Jefty, taking it into his own hands. He receives the ball on the left-hand side. Could have played a simple pass, which is what we've been seeing from Rangers, but decides to go and take his man on, drives in the pitch, uses his pace to get by another defender. Before he knows it, he's at the edge of the box, on his weaker foot, all that. On his right-hand side, hits the shot. It wasn't a bad shot on his weaker foot, probably about a metre past the post, but another half chance for Rangers. 17
minutes in, 0-0 between Nice and Rangers in the Europa League, Matchday 5, as Rangers look to move beyond the 7-point mark. Anything at all from this game, you would have to say, would be a positive result. Nice only on 2 points after the 4 games. He's gone down again, yeah, that's well, it's really bad news for Nice, but you'd have to say for Rangers it's an even better chance, you would say, of being able to exploit this Nice team, who are already weakened by injury and suspension. And if they lose their captain after just over a quarter of an hour, Youssef Ndiashimi, who's been a regular certainly in the Europa League up until now. And who are they getting ready?
42.
Yeah, that's one of the young players, Yael Nangju, who I think is going to come on for his debut. I mean, he's not even listed in the Nice squad on Transfer Market, the website which has all the data. So it's going to be an all new experience for this young man as he prepares to come on. Yael Nangju, he's a 19-year-old left back as far as I can gather, but hasn't played for the first team before, but he's going to get his introduction after just 18 minutes of this game.
What a way to make your debut, eh? Europa League, and you go.
Well, this is the kind of moment where you might sink, you might swim. Let's see as Yael Nangju comes on for his Nice debut at the early stages of this Europa League match. And we'll see, is he going to take his place right at the heart of that defence? It looks like he is going to go in centre back. And Rangers have the throw in, but they've just given it back to Nice as Ndiashimi just knocked it out because he was injured. And so it's back in the arms of the goalkeeper. And Nice with the early change then as Ndiashimi forced off with an injury. Let's see if Rangers can capitalise as Nice have it. And there's the early touch for the teenager Nangju, out to the left-hand side to Barr. Forward it goes, it's given away though. Barron picks up and now gets it to Raskan. He just about manages to get that to Bayrami. Diamonde trying to get out to the left-hand side. He's lost it, but then won it back from Boudaoui. Jefty involved there, and Bayrami plays it forward. Good ball for Diamonde inside the box. Tries to get it across goal. It's cut out, and then, well, it looked like a pass back there. The keeper didn't want to pick that up. Rangers just can't quite make anything of it, as there was real disarray in the Nice defence there. Keeper thought about picking it up, then realised it was going to be a back pass, but they eventually scramble it clear before Rangers can make anything of it. But you would have to say that Nice defence not exactly looking the most convincing.
No, they weren't on the same wavelength there, that is for sure. I think the goalkeeper was looking for a pass back, then realised quite clearly he couldn't pick it up. He could have stopped it with his hand, and it played a pass with his hand almost to get it away. He managed to just about get away with it all.
20 minutes in then, no goals, plenty of incident though in these early stages. A penalty that was awarded against Rangers and then overturned by VAR, and ultimately the referee himself agreeing that it shouldn't have been a penalty. Rangers with a big opportunity through Eagman that was passed up. It's the substitute Nangju playing it square for Abdel Momin, his central defensive partner now. Nangju once more plays it forward for Boudaoui in the midfield. tries to spray it out to the right-hand side. Jefty keeps an eye on that one though and nods it down to Bayrami. Plays it back to Proper, midway inside his own half. Proper looking over the top for Czerny, but it was well cut out by Abdelmomen there, and Jefty picks up on the loose ball, back with Proper, who plays a low ball into Barron, midway inside his own half. 0-0 here as you listen to Sports Sound on this Europa League match day 5. Rangers looking to continue a good run away from home. They are 6 matches unbeaten in Europe on the road, and if they can extend that to 7, they'll be well on their way to qualifying for the next stage, with a couple of tough games coming up next against Spurs and Man United for the final home game against Union Saint-Gilloise, which might well be the crucial one. Is given away by Czerny in the midfield, picked up by Nice, but they can't keep a hold of it. Mukoko can't get a hold of the ball. Raskan can in the centre circle, plays it forward for Igman, tries to get away from Rosario, now wearing the captain's armband, but fails to do so, and it's Melvin Barr, the left back, on the halfway line. No real pattern to the game. It's been very...
It's scatty. It's scatty out. Yeah. Igman just there giving the ball away. There's been... At the very start of the game, he took a brilliant touch, laid it off and looked lively, and then the last 2 that have come up to him, he hasn't quite managed to secure.
Nice have it, right back position, as Lucier plays it back to his goalkeeper just outside his penalty area. Just plays a short ball to Nongju, the young substitute. A baptism of fire perhaps for him this evening as he plays it back to Abdelmonem. It's given away though to Bayrami. He can't find Igman. Nice have it back in the halfway line, looking to try and build something here. Neither side really settled into the game as yet. Diamondi looking to close down Rosario, but it's played to Nongju and then out to Bar on the left-hand side. Into the midfield it goes. Good challenge there from Barron. Can't quite win it back though, and it's all the way back to the goalkeeper on the edge of his penalty area. Midway point in the first half. No goals as yet. Either side looking as likely as the other to give something away at the back rather than a moment of inspiration, albeit it was a cracking effort from Buonani after 5 minutes or so that just cleared the frame of Jack Butland's goal.
Rangers have had the best chance though, you've got to say. I mean, that 3v1, you've seen them miss a lot of big chances in European nights so far this season. That's another one for the list.
Forward to come through Camaradu Nice, but Raskan's dispossessed him unfairly. I think the referee's pointing to a previous infringement actually back in the halfway line. Nice free kick then, taken by Nongju. Plays it square for Abdelmonem. Out to the right-hand side for Lucier. Still away at the opening goal. Out it comes to the Nice left-hand side. Bar in an advanced position up from left back. Often plays at left wing back when they're playing a 3 at the back, but in a back 4 today is Laborde gets through a couple of challenges. Near post ball, Butland gathers at the second attempt. Almost spilled that at the feet of the Nice player who was coming in there, but eventually able to smother it and then bowl it out for Jefty, left-hand side. 24 played, Nice 0, Rangers 0.
Yeah, he probably picked the wrong decision there, did Laborde. He managed to do well, got a wee bit of a ricochet, gets to the byline and flashes it right across the front post. Fortunately for Nice, they didn't have any runners going by that front post, and it was easy enough for Jack Butland just to scoop up into his arms. Just looking at the way Nice are now, like, as I say, they often do play a back 3. And it looks to me like Rosario, when the introduction of the young centre back there, Rosario's actually gone back in and is playing as a sweeper from midfield, and they have almost reverted to a 3/5 at the back. Would you agree? I'm not entirely sure, Alistair. I think I was looking at it when he came on. I think out of possession, maybe he's dropping in, but when they're going forward, it certainly isn't, because the 2 fullbacks are playing so high and they're just leaving the 2 centre halves on the ball. It's maybe just when Rangers are looking as though they've got comfortable possession. Neil, did you want to come in on that?
Yeah, I was just going to say that Tom was spot on. Out of possession, they are a back 5, and what's happening is in possession, the middleman of the 3 centre backs just steps in and plays like an old-fashioned number 6. So that's where they're getting he's then getting in. Diamandi's then been forced to sit on top of him. They're trying to free up the midfield area, but out of possession, it's just going back to the flat 5.
Good stuff, thanks Neil. Neil McCann there in our Glasgow studio. Stephen Thompson alongside myself in the Grand Stade de Nice as the home side come forward looking for the opening goal of the game. 0-0 it stands with 25 played here in the south of France. It's been a pleasant couple of days on the Côte d'Azur. The sun has been shining, the temperature has been mild during the day, but it does drop at this time of night, but still a good few degrees warmer than in Scotland, that's for sure, as Barr tries to come forward down the left-hand side. Good challenge by Sterling to knock out a play on this near side, down near the corner flag as Nice attack on the left. Barr to take this throw in.
Something they've been doing a lot is this big switch of plays to their full-backs. Barr down the left and Michel down the right-hand side, getting a lot of space and time.
Here is Barr. Czerny got a touch in that. It's going to be a corner to Nice, left-hand side, as they look to try and break down this Rangers defence. Nice have made a bad habit recently of conceding the first goal in games. They want to try and avoid doing that. They thought they were going to have the chance in the penalty spot to open the scoring, but the referee ultimately changing his mind after the VAR review. But here Nice have the corner kick from the left-hand side, where they'll try and find the breakthrough in this Europa League tie. Out comes another Nice player to this near-hand side, but it's a poor corner. It's delivered to the near post, but it is picked up again by Buonanni. Sends it into the back post. Mukoku's lurking there, but the offside flag is going to halt his progress, and Rangers will have the free kick deep in their own territory. We've played 27 minutes, and it is Nice 0, Rangers 0.
Really poor corner. There's a lot of kind of movement in the box, players coming out, one coming short. It felt as though they were going to try and work something there, Nice, but eventually delivered it in, hit the first man.
Suter closed down in a tight area. He manages to just spin and then play it forward to Czerny. Got himself out of a pretty tight situation there. It's a Rangers throw-in on the halfway line, right-hand side. Czerny into Igman. Igman knocks it back to Barron, and now it's Sterling on the right-hand side, just inside his own half, just in front of his manager Philippe Clement. Tries a cute little ball forward, doesn't find either Igman or Diamondi, and it's picked up by Boudaoui in the middle of the park. Camera now out to the right-hand side as Nice come forward up towards the Rangers penalty area. It's Mukoko out to Laborde, just inside the penalty area, gets onto his right foot, gets through Sterling but not Suter. Barron tries to just help it away. Czerny thumped up to the halfway line. They're one-on-one at the back. You said that, Stephen.
Yeah,
they are leaving it
open.
Igman on his own there, with just one marker in the shape of Mohamed Abdelmonem, but he managed to deal with the pressure there, and Rangers have got themselves a free kick midway inside their own half. 28.5 played, and it's still goalless.
Rangers will get other decent chances in this game because of that very fact. When this team go forward, they're all in. As much as that, they've not really created that many massive openings so far.
Rangers free kick to be taken by Jack Butland then midway inside his own half, right-hand side. Plays it long down the right channel, looking for Diamondi at the edge of the box. It's over his head, and out comes a keeper and grabs that in a rather wasted free kick as Bulka comes to the edge of his area and then just blows it underarm to Miguel Nonjou, who will bring it forward midway inside his own half. Plays it square for Abdelmonem. Back with Nonjou once more. Nonjou then looks to go over the top of the Rangers defence. Too much on that one for Melvin Barr to try and catch, and out comes Jack Butland and grabs it and then plays it to proper out to Jefty now. Jefty will come forward up to the halfway line. 0-0. We await the opening goal in Nice. Hearts having lost 2-0 to Cercle Bruges in the Conference League earlier on. So still a bit of work to do for them, but still very much in the chance of progressing beyond the group stage. As Jefty has it out to the right-hand side, he sweeps it. It's Sterling on the halfway line coming forward. Now it's Czerny up towards the angle of the box, an area he likes to try and exploit, can't link with Igman, but it does break to Barron. Barron's going to go for a goal, and Diamondi almost got a nick on that to try and divert it goalwards, but in the end he couldn't, and Barron's effort goes well wide of the Nice goal, and it's going to be a Nice goal kick. Not the best of opening half hours, you would have to say here, Stephen, but I suppose the scoreline as it is not a bad one for Rangers. 0-0.
No, it's not. I mean, if Rangers come out of here when the scoreline remaining the same, it's a great night's work. On that occasion there, it was Czerny cutting again in his left. If it was, he could have shot. He goes for the wee 1-2, something he did a lot in the second half against Dundee United at the weekend. And then it breaks out to Barron. Fairly ambitious from Barron, a good 25 plus yards out, and just dragged his shot.
That's untidy from Nice in the middle of the park. Rangers pick up through Sterling. Then Czerny looks to feed it over the top, looking for Eagman. Just a couple of yards too heavy with the pass, and it's another easy take for Bulka in the Nice goal. But I mean, this, I did say to you, Stephen, and I said to the listeners as well, from what I've seen of Nice, they are not at the standard, despite being a point ahead of Lyon in the league, they are not the same standard as that Lyon team that came to Ibrox. And yes, they're missing a lot of players, but on the evidence of the opening half hour, you would...
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, absolutely would. Alistair, they certainly don't have two wide players like Lyon have got. I mean, they were incredible that evening. But yeah, this Nice team, it's been like all the away games that we've watched so far when Rangers have travelled in the Europa League, and you think, you know, the Olympiacos one, they'd won the tournament European competition the year before. You're thinking they're going to be really strong. Not that impressed with them. Malmo again, really poor on the night. And so far, yeah, as much as Nice have created one or two opportunities, they're hardly blowing Rangers away. So sometimes maybe we kind of talk the opponent up a wee bit too much. But then you see something like what happened against Lyon.
Here's Raskan, halfway line, tries to play it forward for Czerny. Czerny will chase that, and he should be able to keep it in. Right hand side, almost at the corner flag, up against Nongju. Nongju just holds him off. Good challenge from the young man, you'd have to say. Showed good strength, read it well. Czerny was looking for a free kick, but didn't come his way, probably rightly, as he then drags Mukoku to the ground.
Good defender it was from Nongju. I've been impressed with him since he's come on. It's his debut, the young man, but he's kept it simple. He's seen a lot of the ball, just popping it and keeping it simple, not taking any risks.
Camara, on the other hand, taking a risk there. Rangers nicking it off him. It breaks off Eagman, though, and it'll be out for a throw-in. But they're certainly taking chances in the middle of the park, Nice.
Yeah, there's been two or three, hasn't there, where Rangers have managed to just kind of nick it off them without really the break of the ball going favourably for Rangers. It's kind of like how the 3v1 situation arose earlier in the game for Eagman. Was that similar kind of giveaway in the middle of the park? It's something that Rangers can pounce upon.
Here's Mukoku, midway inside his own half, hassled by Barron. Good ball winning from the former Aberdeen man. Now he finds Czerny. Czerny at the edge of the box. Can he get the shot off here? Trying to get it onto his left foot. Always so desperate to get it onto that left. And the shot was poor in the end, and it's easily cleared. But that's another good half chance for Rangers, you would have to say, because of the ball winning in the middle of the park of Barron.
Barron did really well. It showed a lot of upper body strength and then slipped the ball through to Czerny. Felt as though he could get the shot away just a wee bit sharper, takes an extra touch and then gets it all wrong as he goes to pull the trigger. Limping a bit now he is as well.
It's been a shining light for Rangers of late, Václav Czerny, the man that they've looked to for inspiration. They can ill afford to lose him. But he seems to be okay just at the moment as he picks the ball up again, right hand side, midway inside the Nice half, coming forward into the middle of the park he comes. It's Bayrami's coming off the left to knock it back the way to Suter, and now back out with Sterling, right hand side, running at Bar. Outside of him goes Bayrami, uses him as a decoy. Eagman picks up possession inside the box, lays it back to Czerny, deflection, goal! Rangers in front, and it is that man, Václav Czerny, who blasts it beyond the goalkeeper. Might have taken a deflection in his way through to wrong foot the keeper. Either way, Rangers have the opener. 35 played, Nice 0, Rangers 1.
Well, it's a defensive nightmare for Nice. The cross comes in from the right hand side from Sterling. They don't deal with the first ball. Eagman does actually quite well to put the defender off, and it breaks to the edge of the box where Czerny hits a shot. It has to take a massive deflection because it completely wrong foots Bulka in the Nice goal. But Rangers won't be caring if it's deflected or not because they're 1-0 up.
They sure are. It's 5 goals and 3 assists in his last 7 games, Václav Czerny, and he really has been one of the few shining lights for Rangers, particularly, you would have to say, in the Europa League. And he salutes the away fans across in that far corner. It was a good strike from him, but as you say, it almost certainly must have taken a deflection. I would suppose that Neil McCann will have seen a rerun of that.
It takes two deflections. It nicks the studs on the almost immediately as Czerny strikes it and then catches the heel. of the last defender and spins into the net. It comes off the big captain actually, but it's shocking defending from Nice all round. You're talking about their lack of quality. I totally agree. I don't see this side having a real structure of playing. I know we're talking about the 3 out of possession and it goes to a 4 when the middleman steps in, but there's no real conviction to their shape, and that's certainly out of possession. They look all over the place. I mean, Igman does brilliant because he just walks onto it, and when he rolls it to Czerny, there's no midfielder close to him, and it's 2 nicks that takes it by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, well, Rangers will absolutely take that. 8 goals for the season for Václav Czerny. 3 of them have come in European football, and he's back in possession with the back heel to Suter as Rangers come forward. A goal up in the Grand Stade de Nice against the home side. It's proper now, flicks it out to Czerny on the right hand side. First time ball on to Sterling. Likewise for Diamondi, right hand side, knocks it back to Sterling once more, 25 yards from the goal line. Bayrami's again across on this right hand side, overloading down this right hand side at the moment, Rangers, and they've won a throw in. They've played 36 minutes, and Rangers have the advantage, and it's the away fans who are joyous away over to our left hand side, looking to move on to potentially 10 points after 5 games if they can hold on, but there's a long way to go in this match. Nice have already created a couple of opportunities and will look to do so again. Forward they come now. Raskan though, winning it in the middle of the park. Barron picks up, trying to get away from his marker, who is Laborde. Back the way he goes to Proper, who goes square to Suter, just inside his own half. Rangers just looking to consolidate at the moment. Don't need to do anything rash. The 1 goal advantage as Sterling lifts it into the penalty. Rosario, Diamondi's got a goal! Diamondi has done absolutely brilliantly there. Rosario left it, let it drop over his head, thinking Diamondi wouldn't get there. He stretched out the left leg to knock it beyond the goalkeeper, and amazingly, it's Nice 0, Rangers 2.
It's an incredible. I mean, it looked like the ball was past Diomandi. It was clipped over the top of the defender. And again, you've got to say, this Nice defence all over the place. But Diomandi didn't give up. He swung a left leg at it, and somehow it managed to squirm past the goalkeeper. It could be a brilliant finish from Diomandi. I don't know whether or not it kind of clipped off anybody or not, but the ball over the top looked too long for me. But he didn't give up. Defender all over the place. 2-0 Rangers.
Wow, what a few minutes we've had here. 35 and 38 minutes. Czerny and Diamondi have put Rangers in a hugely commanding position as we approach half-time. I was just about to say they don't need to do anything rash and overcommit as they get the second goal. That is a tremendous few minutes for Rangers. Mohamed Diamondi is just his 2nd goal of the season. We've been talking about him not being entirely suited to that number 10 position. Well, he was in the right place at the right time to get on the end of the forward ball. Rosario, absolutely ridiculous defending, just letting the ball drop over his head. And Nice will now come and look to try and get a goal back, as the referee says no foul there, as Laborde goes down looking for a free kick. Wasn't a foul there though, and Sterling blasts it up to the halfway line. Igman also looking for a free kick. That's not forthcoming either, as Nice pick up out to the right hand side. It's Buonani out to the fullback Lucier. They are stung, said that they have been making a habit of losing the first goal. They've lost the second goal as well tonight, as Camara picks up left hand side now. It's Barr as Nice look to respond before the interval. Czerny though gets back in and wins it, and then plays a nutmeg on Barr and links with Sterling. Back with Czerny up to the halfway line. Igman will go and chase that, but out comes the goalkeeper midway inside his own half. Plays a short ball to the young substitute Nongju. It's been a Nice side in disarray, not only during the game, before the game, forced into a lot of changes through injuries and suspensions, and losing their captain also on the night. But 2 goals down, and it's all music to the ears of the Rangers fans who have seen their side take a good lead through Václav Czerny and then Mohamed Diamondi. We've now got 5 minutes plus injury time until the interval. And it's Nice 0, Rangers 2. You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. The thoughts now of Stephen Thompson.
It really is incredible watching Rangers in Europe compared to Rangers domestically. I mean, it's 2 different teams. It really is, and I think it's all down to how open the games are when they play in Europe. Obviously aided by some really poor defending from Nice, but this Rangers team look hungrier, they look quicker, everything's a bit sharper. I mean, the complete antithesis of what you saw in the first half of the game against Dundee United.
Yeah, very much so. Philippe Clement saying yesterday he wants his side to go out and strangle opponents. They haven't been able to do that in the league, that's for sure, but they're rather strangling the life out of Nice just at the moment, with just a few minutes left in this first period. They've knocked the ball out of play though on the far side, and it's a Nice throw-in on the right as they come forward on the halfway line, to be taken by Tom Luché, the 21-year-old right back. But Rangers have nicked it again by Rami going down. Looked like he was caught, and indeed the referee agrees it'll be a Rangers free kick just inside Nice territory. 2-0 the visiting side leads, and it's a scoreline that makes great listening for Scottish football fans, as Proper has it at the back. Rangers, as I say, looking to move on to 10 points after 5 games, with a double-header against English opposition to come in the next few weeks. Man United and Spurs both will be tough ask. You'd have to say that the prospect of playing Man United at Old Trafford under Ruben Amorim might be a slightly different task. You might have fancied them under Eric Ten Hag to go and try and nick something, but you would imagine by the time they get down to Old Trafford, Amorim will have begun to try and change things in his own particular style. Here come Nice down the left-hand side, and it's Melvin Barr playing the ball forward, looking for Laborde. It's over him, but Luché will come up from the right back position, gets the ball back into the box. There's the header coming in, and Butland has to turn it round the post as Laborde flashed the header goalwards. Butland almost looked surprised by that. He didn't deal with it entirely convincingly, but he did enough to push it round the post. And Nice will have the corner. 2 minutes left in this first period plus stoppage time. Still Nice Rangers 2. Short corner taken on the right-hand side. Rangers don't have the bodies across there. Now they do, as they try to stop the cross coming in. By Rami's managed to do that. He's also prevented another corner, but he's given the ball straight back to Nice, and that's not a good idea. And it comes to the penalty area. Raskan and Suter going up to win it. Raskan picks up now and then links with Sterling. Rangers have dealt with the danger well there. Raskan now looks up. What are his options? He tries to spread the play out to the left-hand side. That's a fabulous ball out to the left-hand side, and Rangers will try and build as Bayrami plays it to Jefti. Jefti closed down quickly by Abdel Monem, and it's going to be Rangers throwing down at the corner flag as we move towards the last minute of the opening 45, albeit I think they're going to be probably about 5 minutes or so.
I mean, that was a big chance there for Nice. Luché down the right-hand side, put in a really good ball. It was Laborde in the middle who met it well. And Butland kind of just seemed to claw it past his left-hand post.
Here come Rangers down the left. It's Diamond the scorer of the second goal. He's given it away though, trying to win it back. And he's pulled his man back, and he's going to see a yellow card for that rather cheap yellow card, you'd have to say, because there was no real necessity to break that attack up where it was taking place for my money, but he did do, and it's a free kick to Nice, and Mohamed Diamonde into the book. Conor Barron is the only Rangers player at risk of missing the next game if he's booked tonight under the accumulation of yellow cards. Here's Nongju, the substitute, coming forward over the halfway line, plays it forward to Makoko and out to the left-hand side for Barr. Barr gives it away though. He was looking for Laborde, but Czerny was in the way. Czerny midway inside his own half. Doesn't want to get caught in possession here, so he goes all the way back to Jack Butland inside his 6-yard box, and he just nonchalantly clips that out to Jefty, left-hand side. But 20 seconds left of the opening 45. The fourth official has got his board ready to show us exactly how much added on time there will be. There was a VAR check, there was an injury as Barron was caught late there, and the referee's going to show the yellow card here to, I think that's Camara, who caught Barron late there. Looks all innocent down there, but he definitely looked to catch the Rangers player.
I thought he was a wee bit unlucky.
5 minutes to be added on.
5 minutes, is it? Aye. I thought he was a wee bit unlucky there. Camera, they both went into the challenge and didn't look too much in it to me, but the referee's seen something. Yellow card.
Yeah.
Rangers just need to see this out. This 5 minutes of injury time. Gone 2-0 at half-time. What an incredible half-time result that would be for them.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to offer Nice any encouragement whatsoever. A goal for them in injury time, and that would change the complexion of the game and the half-time team talks and everything, and give them a lift for the second half. But if Rangers can see the 2-goal advantage into the break, then that would be massive. Or maybe they can extend it as Czerny picks up edge of the box. Camera snapping at his heels. Czerny just can't keep a hold of it as 2 and 3 Nice players swarm around him, and now they come forward as Boudaoui is caught late by Raskin. The referee will allow play to continue because Nice still have possession. Still, though, about 20 yards inside their own half as Rosario, who was badly at fault for the second Rangers goal, picks up and tries to play it forward down the left-hand side. Barr will do well to catch that. In fact, he won't catch it. And it's been a very frustrating first half for the home side and the home fans. But absolutely great watching if you're a Rangers fan who made the trip out here.
It's been a strange first half. I mean, Rangers have done well. There was a spell at the start of the game where Nice were creating opportunities and looking dangerous, but they've completely gone. I wonder whether the substitution had an impact on them, losing their captain and centre half. But certainly the 2 goals they've lost defensively have been really, really poor, and then they've started to offer up pretty much nothing in a forward sense.
Igman just catching a Nice player there who stayed there. I can't quite see who it is actually. Is it Barr, the left back? I'm just going to, you mentioned it actually pre-match, Stephen, but it's worth reiterating. Nice have the last defeat here. Well, they haven't lost here all season. Their last defeat here was in May. That was a 2-1 defeat by PSG. It's their only home defeat since March. They've drawn here in the Europa League against Real Sociedad, and coming from 2 goals down actually, which is quite pertinent, to draw 2-2 with 20 in the last outing. But Rangers, well, they'll be just as a cautionary tale, I suppose, that 20 result. They'll know the game is not out of sight by any means, but it's a fabulous lead at this stage in the game, that's for sure, and they would absolutely have taken it pre-match without any question. Nice have it right-hand side as Lucier goes back the way. Igman's going to steal it before the keeper gets there. Surely Igman for a third Rangers goal. He cannot miss. He does not miss. Hamza Igman puts Rangers 3 goals to the good in first half stoppage time. Another defensive disaster for Nice, given away to Igman at the back. He got there before the keeper, and just listen to this. It is Nice 0, Rangers 3.
I mean, if the first 2 goals were bad defensively, then I don't even know what category this one falls into. The short pass back, fair play to Igman, he reads it well, nips it past the goalkeeper. Then he starts to make me worry because he starts to slow down, and you're thinking, what are you doing? You've got an open goal, just put it in the goal. He takes another touch, and by this point a defender's kind of back in front of him. Thankfully for him and for Rangers, he finds the bottom corner and a chance that he really couldn't miss. 3-0 Rangers, absolutely incredible.
Oh, it's astonishing stuff, this. Hamza Igman with his 2nd goal for Rangers, his first coming also in the Europa League against FCSB. But that is a monumental goal to score in first half stoppage time and give his side a 3-goal advantage. And Nice are absolutely all at sea here as we go into the final minute, the 5th minute of stoppage time. But Czerny, Diamonde and Igman have put Rangers in an absolutely brilliant position here. And now they've won it again, although Bayrami, I think, is going to be stopped in his tracks. The referee's given a free kick to Nice. This is midway inside the Rangers half. They've taken it quickly, but the referee wants it taken again. And just nothing is going for the home side right now, and Flanquez has a massive job in his hands at half-time to try and lift his side and somehow come back from a 3-goal deficit. Here they are looking to do at least start that before half-time, but it's Abdelmonem at the back post just slicing it well off target. And it has been absolutely abject from the home side. We mentioned they were depleted because of injuries and suspension, but nevertheless it has been absolutely dismal from Nice, and they have got to turn things around in the second half. There goes the half-time whistle. What a first half for Rangers as Jefty goes down right on the half-time whistle. That's a concern for Rangers that they can deal with over half-time, but well, Rangers had a big scare early on, a couple of big scares actually, because Buonanni had a shot that flew just off target after 5 minutes, and then Nice were awarded a penalty confusion as to exactly which incident it was for, but the referee pointed to the spot, but then his attention was drawn to the screen by his VAR colleague, and he came across and overturned it. So that was a let-off for Rangers. Eekman passed up a big chance when Rangers were 3-on-1 after 11 minutes, but then it got really good for Rangers. 35 minutes in, Czerny blasted it goalwards through a couple of deflections and beat the keeper for the opening goal. 3 minutes later, the ball over the top. Diamonde managed to just stretch out a leg after Rosario had, for some reason, just let the ball drop as if it was going to go through to his keeper. Diamonde had other ideas and poked it past the keeper for 2-0. If you thought that was good going into half-time, Hamza Eekman had other ideas as he nicked in, intercepted a back pass that was intended for the keeper, rounded the Polish keeper and knocked it into the back of the net to make the half-time scoreline in the south of France. Nice 0, Rangers 3.
Rangers in the Europa League.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
Astonishing, absolutely astonishing. Some of the defending from the French, albeit they are depleted, of course, but my goodness. Schoolboy errors, and Rangers have absolutely made sure that they have picked up on everything that was going for them. Well, not quite. There were a couple of other opportunities, but oh, wow. 3 goals in the last 10 minutes of the half through Czerny, Diamonde and Igamane. And it is 3-0 for Rangers against Nice. They are in a very strong position now in that match, but also, of course, in the Europa League. More generally, matches being played around the country, around the continent. Rangers currently in the live table are in 9th spot, so just outside the automatic qualifiers for the round of 16. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic first half for Scottish football. Earlier, of course, Hearts played really well in the Conference League, but couldn't take their chances. Lawrence Shanklin missed a penalty, blazing it over the crossbar, and they lost by 2-0 to Cercle Bruges. So Hearts still with a bit of work to do, but by no means out of it. Rangers very much in a very, very strong position indeed. Certainly, at the very least, to get into the playoff places. And that has been, well, Neil McCann, a 45 minutes that you could not possibly have begun to predict beforehand, given everything that went on.
No, maybe that's why that stadium was half empty. I honestly, I can't for the life of me work out how a team with the 5th in the French league, I think they're sitting around 5th. How
they are missing some big name players, but
still, Richard, they're so poor. They're all over the place. I know they lose their big captain early on in the game, and they've got to adjust to that. But so poor. They look so unstructured in possession of the football. Out of possession, they're lopsided. I have to say, when I watched the Diamande's goal, I couldn't quite work out how he managed to do it. And by the way, he's deliberately trying to get his foot on it to score, but he somehow is on the stretch, on the ground, gets a little bit of swerve on it and lifts it over the over the goalkeeper. It's quite incredible.
It's an incredible finish, absolutely.
Brilliant.
Yeah. It's not just one where he slides in and taps it in. No. He's a lot of work to do there, hasn't he?
I still, honestly, I've seen it about 3 times. I'm not quite sure how he actually achieves it to get it up and over, but his run's good because the purpose of the run's good, and it's the one thing you've got to do as a 10 is make up the central position if your striker isn't there. Eagleman had found himself out of the number 9 position, the centre forward position, and he broke in there. Rosario, horrendous defending. That was the second goal. Spoke in game about the 2 little deflections. I'm sure one of them comes off of Rosario as well, so he's not had a good night for Czerny's opener. And then to rub salt into the wounds for Nice, a no-look pass back to your goalkeeper is just it's just an absolute cardinal sin. And when Eagleman went through, I shared the same concern as Big Tomo. Is when
I'm thinking, down, I'm going, what are you doing?
I'm saying, just knock it in the net, son. And he's actually given the defender a chance, not only to get goal side, not only to get alongside him, but actually get onto the line almost. And I'm thinking, composure, well done, pretty cool. But 3-0 at half time, I think that goes beyond the wildest dreams that any Rangers fan travelling out there or watching at home or listening at home would have dreamed of.
Well, like we said, they were lowly. That's fair to say in terms of the Europa League. But my goodness, fifth in Ligue 1 suggests that they are a very good team. But Rangers they've capitalised on most of the mistakes.
Yeah.
There was a real chance earlier on with a break where Bayrami eventually passed Eagleman and he just took his time, he delayed, and he was tackled, and you began to you imagine then that Rangers were not going to get a better chance. They probably haven't had a better chance actually, but they've managed to get 3 goals.
Honestly, I think there'll be a lot of smiles inside the away. Are you all right, Richard? Are you doing this broadcast from outside in the garden?
No, do you know what?
Freezing.
I actually, what happened? I'd actually turned my heating down and I made a mistake, and I suddenly got the sniffles. So,
right, okay.
I'm just
acclimatising.
Just about coping.
Right. No, I think there'll be a few smiles inside the dressing room at the gifts they've been given tonight.
Yeah.
It's not often in European competition you get the amount of chances that Rangers have had in that first 45 minutes, but actually talk about shoot yourselves in the foot. But listen, you've got to take advantage of those chances when they come your way, and Rangers have done that. They look solid defensively. That unbelievable situation where the referee had to go to VAR to look at 3 different situations on one monitor was quite incredible, and every one of them he got right, because I didn't think either of the first 2 blocks were penalties, and of course the stopping of the cross coming in wasn't. But listen,
I just love that actually during the commentary where you guys were trying to describe exactly what had happened, only to be presented with another incident
one.
and then another incident. I mean, it's bizarre, but I mean, I suppose what you have done there is you've had a look, you've eliminated any suggestion that anything has gone wrong, and well, bottom line is that it is the correct decision. Yeah, I mean, he did award the penalty, and you can perhaps understand that at least when the referees do that now, they have that fail-safe. You would rather they make a decision, wouldn't you? And then it can be corrected if need be.
Yeah, you're right, Richard, and that's the reason why it's there. He must have turned his back, saying, no, we've got another one to look at, and he must have turned his back again. But crazy situation. Rangers are absolute cruise control here. Actually, John Suter continues to impress me at the heart of the defence. I know he's not had an awful lot to do, but I think he's been really, really good tonight. Really, really, really sound. You would have to think that they'll get a reaction and they'll come out with a wee bit of an up in tempo, maybe a lot more risk, and that's when we need to see. I think we need to see Rangers in terms of the control of a match, because I don't think they've really showed, particularly in domestic games, that they can actually really, really properly control a game. And I mean, it's not about bossing possession. I mean, not actually looking solid, talking about before the game, having a little bit of swagger about them and a bit of confidence to bring teams on, and then punish them maybe on the counter-attack and put this game to bed in the second half.
Yeah, like they'll be feeling pretty relaxed right now. I'm sure you're right. I'm sure there will be some kind of reaction from the French, but Stephen, you would well and truly fancy Rangers. Look, the bottom line is that if Nice are going to try to come out of them, there are going to be even more openings for Rangers than there have been in the first half.
Oh, that's exactly it, isn't it? I mean, yeah, Nice are going to have to come out and try and get back into this game. Al mentioned that they were 2-0 down here against 20 and managed to get it back to 2 each. 3-0 is a big old ask, but there'll certainly be a reaction. Defensively, I mean, just so bad, Nice. And when they're going forward, they're kind of overcommitting and leaving one-on-one 2v2 situations. So you're right, there will be more opportunities for Rangers in this second half. I think the performance has been good, and it's just this Jekyll and Hyde you've got with Rangers, the domestic kind of averageness compared to the European games, and everybody was talking about it, you know, before the game. Rangers in Europe, where they've done so well, it's different. Why is it different? And it's a difficult one to put your finger on, and I'm pretty sure the manager would love to know the answer to why they play so well in Europe. And I do think it's because the opposition do leave themselves exposed and open, which is not what they come up against domestically, and you know, trying to break teams down. But they've had a number of big chances in this game so far, and you're pleased for Eagleman because he was given his big opportunity tonight. Just a young boy, and a lot of weight on his shoulders. and he's got his goal. He should have had two. There's absolutely no doubt about it. But I think in general the Rangers' performance has been good. What you've seen again from the midfield to Barron and Raskin, they are quite similar in many aspects, but what they do is they don't give the opposition time on the ball in the middle of the park, and they've both been ratting about in there and winning second balls and doing a really good job as well. So I mean, for Rangers, I mean, how do you approach it? I mean, I've never been a manager, but Neil has. I mean, do you say to yourself, right, we'll be kind of risk adverse and bring on extra kind of more defensively minded players, or do you go and try and get the fourth and really put it to bed? I mean, I don't know how you play it.
Just go out and play exactly the same as you have been in the opening 45. That's what's worked.
I think it'll be dictated to somewhat of how they come out. Do they change shape, Richard? Listen, if they continue to play with that three and the central man stepping in to midfield and being open, then all Rangers, I'd be saying to Rangers fullbacks, you just sit a little bit shallow, you sit a bit deeper, and that'll drag on their wing backs onto the top. And as soon as they do that, if you're playing with three centre backs, then channel balls generally aren't a problem, because you send the wider centre back out into that channel. But if they're playing with the two and they've stepped one in, Richard, I'd be just saying to your back four, just sit. You don't need to bomb forward, almost encourage them to bounce if it's the same formation, and then getting maybe your Bayrami's to just spin into the channel, or if it's Egeman just dropping in there, or Czerny on the other side, and really stretching them as much as you can. But I think the game right now is a huge 3 points. There's no point in taking any cavalier risks and bombing on, getting Sterling bombing on and getting Yefty on the other side. He went down right enough to a good spot from Tomo. He went down and he's sitting, which was strange. So you might see maybe a change.
The look Al just gave me, because it was him that spotted it. The look of disgust as he's putting this sandwich further and further down his throat here at half time. He turned around with the look of absolute contempt. It was
to be fair, we've all seen that from Al Lamont many a time.
It's incredible. What, the eating of the sandwich or the look?
Well, if he does need to come off here, and it's a good opportunity, Philippe Clement is pretty heavy with the use of minutes. So it's maybe a good opportunity for Yilmaz. Maybe get Tavernier on, get him onto the pitch. And because really, at 3-0, Richard, this team have shown no evidence in that first 45 that they're capable of really carving out the amount of chances that they can get themselves back into the game. So you might see at 60 minutes Tavernier coming on and Yilmaz maybe at the start of the second half if Yefty's got a problem. There's no risk needing to be taken.
Nah, there was the early shot from Benami. There was I think it was Laborde with a header that was comfortably saved by Butland. There was the mayhem in the 6th minute of the various efforts that were blocked, and eventually it was all sorted out with a lengthy VAR check. But that apart, these have been poor. Rangers have handled the situation well. They've created lots of chances. They've scored 3 goals, and they are in an absolutely fantastic position right now. So 3-0 Rangers at half-time. Earlier in the Conference League, it was Cercle Bruges 2, Heart of Midlothian 0. Good performance by Hearts, but they too missed chances. A couple of deflected efforts from Efekele, and then right at the end, Madi with the well-struck shot, but it did take a deflection off Oyugoki and into the net. In between times, Lawrence Shankland had the ideal opportunity to end his scoring drought. Hearts awarded a penalty for a handball. Up stepped the captain, and sadly he blazed his effort over the crossbar. So Hearts losing by 2-0. Still work to do for them in the Conference League. Rangers are in a very good position right now in the Europa League, as I mentioned earlier, just outside the automatic qualifiers right now. The live table is showing them on 10 points from their 5 matches. The matches that are also going underway into the second half. It's Manchester United 2, Bodo Glimt 2, and Spurs are 2-1 up at home to Roma. You get all the details, of course, online, bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. Teams back out, live second half commentary to come. More from Neil McCam and our commentary team of Stephen Thompson and Al Lamont.
Thanks again, Rich. Yeah, Jefty is back out. to resume at left back, so that's fine as far as Rangers are concerned. There is going to be, though, a half-time change from the home side. It's not a massive surprise, you would have to say, for a team that are losing 3-0. It's going to be, well, it's an interesting one, actually. It's Melvin Barr, the left back, who's come off, and on is coming Tongi Ndombele. So I've absolutely no idea how they're going to kind of reshuffle. I'll leave that to Stephen Thompson to keep an eye on how that affects
Good luck with that.
Nice tactically, but it's an interesting change. I mean, Barr looked, well, he wasn't particularly at fault for any of the goals, I don't think. He looked quite dangerous coming forward down the left-hand side, but that is the change that has been made. So Rangers unchanged from the starting 11 that has put them 3 goals up as the second half gets underway, and heading towards a really incredible tally of 10 points from 5 games, and we shouldn't count our chickens just yet, but it would be astonishing if this Nice side can somehow salvage anything from the game.
The youngster's going to left back. That's what they've...
Yeah, well, I did. He is a left back. So as much as I could find out about him, which wasn't very much, was that he's listed as a left back. So yeah, that's exactly what's happened. And Camara looks like he's gone into a kind of defensive role at the moment as well from the middle of the park, and Rosario is still back there. I mean, it's miles away from, I think, what their first choice starting 11 would be, so I've got to caveat the scoreline with that, but nonetheless you expect a team or a club who are, they're not short of a few bob. They're owned by Ineos and Jim Ratcliffe, who's obviously just ploughed a lot of money into Manchester United and spent a lot of money. You would expect them to have a squad capable of coping with even a bad injury, a bad spate of injuries, but they certainly haven't been able to do that so far this evening. Here's Jefty for Rangers, left-hand side. He loses out, but it'll come to Raskan. I have to say, Nico Raskan, because he was right out of the picture for a while, partly through injury, and I think maybe Clement maybe didn't quite fancy him at the start. But just in his last month or so, it strikes me he's getting much closer to the Nico Raskan we saw when he first arrived at Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, I think clearly any player needs a run of games, and he hadn't had that under Philippe Clement. He got his opportunity to come into the side, and now it seems to be the kind of favoured midfield two, the two sitters of himself and Barron, and generally it's been working quite well.
Abdelmonem giving the ball straight to Raskan as Nice continue to be lax in possession. Sterling has it right hand side, plays it to Diamonde, looking forward actually to seeing that finish that Neil was praising effusively at half time, as we've obviously only had the one view of it in real time. As Rangers continue to come forward, Raskan heads it straight to Camara, out to the right hand side to Lucier, and we are throwing to Nice. A couple of minutes gone in this second period. Rangers, if you're just tuning in, you won't quite believe this, but Rangers leading by 3 goals to 0 as Barron just loses out there against Rosario. And now it's Camara moving over the halfway line away from Raskan, promising this for Nice. Camara up towards the edge of the box, good position if he can pick out a pass, which he does, not back by Boudaoui. It's a chance here for Laporte, is just wide of Jack Butland's left-hand post. In fact, I think the keeper gets a fingertip to that from Laborde's effort. He was just walking back the way Laborde, maybe just didn't catch it perfectly, but nonetheless, that goes down as a really good save from Butland if he's tipped that one wide. Corner kick, Nice.
Yeah, it's a big chance from Nice coming forward in numbers. They get the overlap and run down the left-hand side. It was flicked through. Probably should have hit it first time. Ends up coming back to Laporte. He kind of drags his shot.
Here's a corner, right-hand side, near post balls. You have to there to cut it out and knock it behind for another corner.
Laborde, yeah, I mean, he didn't really get a lot on his shot. He was closed down quickly, but it was getting into that bottom corner, and it was a really important touch from Jack Butland.
Short corner taken this time. Boudaoui's played it square now for Camera, edge of the box, it's just always rising and well over the top of Jack Butland's goal. And with 4 minutes played in the second half, it's still Nice 0, Rangers 3, but a decent start to the second half, you'd have to say, from the home side.
Yeah, just a wee warning sign for Rangers. You know, obviously towards the end of the first half, Nice were all over the place. They weren't creating chances as a team, but 4 minutes in and they've had a couple of decent openings already.
There's Igman chesting down the ball forward from Butland, tries to get it to Raskan. He's under pressure, but plays it off Boudaoui, and it will be a Rangers throw-in down below us on the near side. Rangers left midway inside their own half, 50 minutes on the clock, and Rangers still with that 3-goal advantage they held at half-time through goals from Czerny, Diamonde and Igman. As Diamonde now plays it out to the right-hand side. Sterling scampering after it. And goes Nongju with a good challenge. Knocks it down the line. There's Suter coming across. Just hooks that out of play. It'll be a Nice throw-in over on the far side. They've got a lot of work to do in this second period to salvage something. As we mentioned, they did come from 2 down in the last Europa League game at home to 20 to take a point from that game. One of only 2 they've managed in the competition so far, but coming back from 3 downs, a huge ask as they try to preserve their unbeaten home record this season. Here's Camera in the centre circle, plays it out to the left-hand side for Nongju, who come forward. Czerny goes across to try and meet him. Cross does come into the box. Out comes Butland. Comfortable take 10 yards from goal, and immediately batters it forward. One for Igman to chase. Abdelmonem should get there before him. The keeper comes out to the edge of his box and clears. In any case, Camera with a terrible touch that will break to Igman. Tries to flick it to Diamonde. That doesn't come off, and Abdelmonem will pick up on the halfway line. It's Boudaoui moving away from Igman, motoring forward, trying to inject a bit of urgency into Nice play. Out to the left-hand side it goes. It's Laborde, tries to get the cross in, can't get it beyond Sterling. Comes back to the striker, and he sweeps it in on the right foot, met by Bayrami at the edge of his own box, picked up by Camera midway inside the Rangers half. Now this shooting opportunity and pushed away by Butland. There's a good effort that from Boudaoui, and that was another one that was on target, had to be saved by Butland. Turns it wide for a corner.
Yeah, it's a save you'd expect him to make, but he has to make it. Boudaoui caught it really, really well, probably a good 22 yards out when he hit it. Again, no, just this Nice side showing that they're going to be coming at Rangers this second half, but they will believe in themselves exposed. Look now.
Yeah, short corner was intercepted. Here come Rangers on the counter, looking to add to their 3 goals already. Here's Czerny, left-hand side. Rangers getting bodies up to support him. It's slipped through. Shefty goes for goal. Good save from the keeper. And then Nongju just completes the clearance and knocks it out for a throw-in. Although the offside flag is up. Must have been against Shefty, I guess, who took the shot on. And Rangers' attack comes to an end. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Stephen. There are going to be opportunities for Rangers on the counter-attack in this second
just like
half.
that, Al. You know, I mean, it was a good counter-attack from Rangers from another poor corner kick from Nice, it has to be said. Igman laying in Czerny, and then the overlap and run from Jefte. Didn't see that he looked offside with the naked eye. There's another giveaway.
Yeah, it's Igman picking up and out to the left-hand side for Bayrami. Bayrami into the penalty, onto the right foot, tries to curl one in, and it's a good shot, but it's straight into the arms of the keeper, who did well to hold on to it, and it bounced just in front of him. Bayrami got plenty behind it, but straight at the keeper, as I say, and it remains Nice 0, Rangers 3, 8 minutes played in this second period.
This team just keep giving the ball away. It's unbelievable.
Igman through the legs of Rosario. Igman with the opportunity to make it 4. That is wonderful from Hamza Igman. A touch of absolute class from the young striker, given his start tonight, and he has nutmegged Rosario before slotting it past the keeper. Cool as you like. Nice 0, Rangers 4.
You've got to give, before I start on the defending from Nice, you've got to give Igman so much credit when he does get the ball. The wee nutmeg past Rosario is brilliant, as you say, but then he shows unbelievable composure. Not only composure, but real accuracy to find that bottom left-hand corner. A wonderful finish from the young man. But Nice, oh my God, the defending. They give the ball away 20 yards, 30 yards from their own goal, and then it's a one-on-one situation again, which Igman takes full advantage of. Brilliant from the youngster, but I mean, this team, I don't know if I've seen an evening before worse goals or worst defending as a team in a long time, possibly ever.
I mean, Rosario is having an absolute mare out there. I think it was him that gave the ball away, wasn't it? Then he gets nutmegged by Igman, and the keeper unable to keep the ball out as Igman just coolly puts it beyond him into the far corner. And after 54 minutes, well, I'm going to have to start consulting my phone here in a minute to look at Rangers' record away victory, unless Richard Gordon, who's probably got that kind of information at his fingertips. But I must say, when I was doing my preparation for this game, that wasn't a stat I thought I was going to need, the record away victory in Europe. But
you should have had it, Al. You be prepared, no?
Well, I think it's probably a bit more the We've played against the likes of Valletta and Malta. I'm sure that's right up there. I think they've maybe got 8s and stuff like that. So I don't think they'll threaten that. But you never know with this Nice team just giving the ball away left, right and centre. They have just lost all their composure at the back. And the manager's going to have a few questions to answer post-match. But here they come, looking to get on the score sheet themselves. A deflected effort. It's going to go wide for a corner for Rangers to defend, and Jack Butland will be determined to keep a clean sheet as much as anything else tonight, as Rangers seem to be scoring at will just at the moment. 4-0 they lead in the south of France. It's an incredible scoreline, one very few would have anticipated. I mean, I think, Stephen, in talking to people about this game, very few were really willing with any great conviction to say what they thought were going to happen, because you just don't know what Rangers is going to turn up at the moment.
No, you don't. But, you know, in Europe in general, you've been able to say that they have been good in all but one of their games, and impressive, and probably most people not thinking that they're capable of putting in these performances that have been watching them week in, week out at Ibrox. So, I mean, the other thing for Philippe Clement is that he's a man that was under massive pressure going into this game. This result certainly eases that.
Oh, this buys him a fair chunk of credit, doesn't it?
Massively.
He's got to. Jefty thwarted as he tried to go down the left-hand side, and forward come Nice, looking for a way through this Rangers defence, but not on this occasion. It's Suter, and then it's Abdelmonen taking a chance against Diamondi. Just gets away with that one, but my goodness, they are continuing to take chance after chance at the back, as Raskan's guilty of a foul there in the middle of the park, and it will be a Nice free kick just inside the Rangers half. Central area taken short as Boudaoui gets a 1-2 here, tries to slip it through again. It was taken down, but the referee didn't see anything wrong with that. Rosario's come in and tried to nick it, and it's been picked up by Rami, and now Igman just tried to play with the outside of his boot for Czerny. It was a little bit
casual.
Yeah, a little bit too casual, and it wasn't incisive enough, and it's picked up by Nice, who can try and come forward, but brilliantly cut out by Diamondi, who's having a good game out there, you would have to say, having come under a little bit of criticism from us and others for his general performances this season. But he's been terrific. He's got his goal, and he's putting a really good shift in the middle of the park, as Nice though pick up through Boudaoui out to the right hand side with Lucier, the right back, into Camara, middle of the park, and then further over it goes to the beleaguered Rosario, still wearing the captain's armband. He hasn't really played a captain's role this evening, you'd have to say. 4-0 Rangers lead after 58 minutes in the Grand Stade de Nice. Out to Lucier, right hand side, about 20 yards from goal, curls it in back post. No pressure on Sterling as he heads it to Czerny, and then gets it back just outside the penalty area to the right hand side. Sterling looks up and then just plays it up rather hopefully to the halfway line, hoping if he plays it to Rosario that he'll simply give it to a Rangers player, where it's in this occasion he doesn't, and it's picked up by Camara just in the edge of the centre circle out to the right hand side for Lucier, midway inside Rangers half. That's given away to Bayrami. Now it's Raskan, midway inside his own half, tried to find Czerny as Rangers look to break once more, but he couldn't quite get the pass executed there, and Camara picks up for Nice. Up it goes to Moukoko, who's been pretty quiet, you'd have to say. I mean, he's a player with massive potential, who's one of these guys who thought was going to be a world beater. The ball comes off the referee there. It's going to have to go back to Nice there. Nothing really is going Nice's way, you would have to say, over the course of this evening.
No, it's not, but I mean, a lot of it's been their own downfall, the mistakes that they're making, their slackness in possession, the defending has been laughable at times.
Here they come inside the penalty area, but Bunani unable to get his shot off, and Rangers try and come forward, but they've given it away, and now it's Rosario. He's having a lot of possession just at the moment as they look for a way back into this contest. Is that even possible? Raskin unable to pick up in the middle of the park. Needs to have it once more. Rosario fouled by Raskin. He's going to have to be careful because he's in danger of going into the boot for persistent fouling out there. Left-hand side, Nice have it. Coming forward through Buonanni. Now it's at the back with Abdel Monem out to the right-hand side for Lushi. Still Rangers lead by 4-0. Igman with a double on either side of half-time to add to the goals of Czerny and Diamonde. And the Rangers in a more comfortable position than they've been in for a very, very long time. And yeah, some of that's been down to slack play from Nice, but also some good play from the visiting side. You'd have to say Nice trying to come forward down the right, but it's another loose pass, and Jefty just lets that drift over the goal line. It'll be a Rangers goal kick. We've played an hour. You listen to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland with a Europa League tie out here in the south of France, and Rangers leading by 4-0 as he prepares to make a double change here. And it's going to be Ross McCausland and the captain James Tavernier who are going to come on for the closing half hour as Rangers just look to see this game out with a 4-goal lead that they currently hold. Let's see who's going to be making way here. First number that is
Czerny, I think I saw him limping at the end of the first half ever so slightly, and he's, you know how Philippe Clement enjoys talking about his minutes. Well,
yeah.
Czerny's certainly playing a lot of football recently, and he want to keep him because of the form he's been in. And let's be honest, at 4-0 up, the game's won, so it's probably not a bad time to be resting your star players.
Yeah, Dujon Sterling's the other player who's going to come off, so it's straight swaps really at right back and right wing as Tavernier and McCausland come off with the scoreline 4 goals. Rangers are up as Philippe Clement just a word with Dujon Sterling as he troops off. Good shift from him. Václav Černý with another goal to his credit. Another good performance as Tavernier takes the armband on. And Jefty will have a throw-in down below us on the left-hand side, more or less on the halfway line. Closed down there by Lushi, comes off Lushi, and it'll be another Rangers throw-in just in front of Philippe Clement's technical area. He had a bit of a hard time in yesterday's news conference. I think you'll probably enjoy this one a bit more post-match as Diamonde looked like he was taken down outside the penalty area there. The referee was well, he's only a few yards away and decided there was nothing wrong with it. Maybe a little bit of sympathy there for Nice, for whom nothing has really gone their way since that VAR decision went against them 5 minutes or so in. The penalty was awarded by the referee, but it was overturned after the review. Things could have been very different if they'd managed to get the penalty, get their noses in front, but as it is, they trail by 4-0. Here they come forward looking to get on the score sheet. It's Buonanni. A really good effort himself in the early stages, just wide. He's rather faded out the game. Oh, that's given away by Suter. Oh, he's really fortunate, very fortunate, because he gave the ball to Moukoko inside the penalty area and somehow it broke back to Suter and he was able to clear. But it's the kind of mistake that Suter still, although he's been very good directing for Rangers and Scotland this season, still has the odd mistake in him, and that was one that he got away with.
Yeah, just a wee lapse of concentration. That's the other thing Rangers just need to be careful of. When you are winning 4-0 and you're cruising in games, then you can take your foot off the accelerator at times. Another giveaway there. Yeah, Bayrami now finds Igman. Forward comes Jefty as well in support. Igman cuts back inside. He was just caught there, or well, the referee again has let that go. I don't think he was. I think he just rolled his ankle. He was down holding his ankle, that's for sure. And that's a real shame for the young man. He's got the 2 goals. And well, Nice are very sportingly going to knock the ball out of play. And considering they're 4 goals down,
and there was no foul involved there, then they've done Rangers a real favour there. They absolutely did not have to knock the ball out of play, but this could be the end of the evening for Hamza Igman.
I don't know if Neil saw what he did on his ankle, but to me I don't think there was contact. I think he just rolls it, gets his stud caught in the grass and rolled his ankle.
They're just getting the first replay up now, Tom. He just catches his toe on the boot of the defender, and as he does that and goes to land it, he rolls his ankle. I think he'll be okay. It doesn't go right over. I think it was just a little fright he's got.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nice, considering the position they're in, I'm highly surprised that they did kick the ball out of play, but good sportsmanship, you would have to say, by them. And Igman is back up and he jogs off seemingly quite freely, really. And but it is an evening on which you don't need to take any chances, as Rangers will take the throw in, but they will obviously give this ball back to Nice. Shefty all the way back to the keeper, who has seen 4 goals go past him. Marcin Bulka is has played a few internationals for Poland, though he wasn't in goal against Scotland, because in the game prior to that he lost 5 goals against Portugal, so didn't play that game in Warsaw, in which John Souttar was so heavily involved for that winning goal for Andy Robertson. Did play at Hampden actually in the 3-2 victory. Nice have it halfway line. They trail by 4 goals to 0. We've played 65 minutes, and Rangers very much on course for another Europa League victory, a 7th consecutive unbeaten game away from home in the Europa League, and or in Europe's generally, I should say. And it is a terrific form. You cannot argue anything else, and they've put themselves in such a strong position to try and progress. And you never know, I mean, they might yet have an eye on automatic qualification for the last 16, as yet again Nice give it away and Rangers can try and come forward. Diamonde just stumbling rather, but Tavernier in support, and he'll come forward, plays the early ball in for Igman. Igman, a brilliant control, he was on the stretch there, he manages to bring it down and find Bayrami, left hand side of the penalty area. Igman once more picks up on the left, knocks it back now with Raskan midway inside the Nice half. Now Souttar out to the right hand side, McCausland for Tavernier, the 2 substitutes linking up there. Barron back to Tavernier, and now Souttar once more or less on the halfway line, goes back to Proper inside his own half in the centre circle. The Dutchman plays it back to Souttar out to Tavernier. Nice getting more and more frustrated that they can't get near the ball as Barron gets it back to Tavernier, and then Barron once more takes over down the right hand side. Igman's offside as he tries to get on the end of the cross. If he connected, he wouldn't have been allowed, but it does come to Bayrami on the left hand side. Can he just find an angle for a shot or a cross here? He's got Shefty in support. Here is Shefty inside the box, left hand side, knocks it back to Raskan on the angle of the box, finds Shefty once more, shooting opportunity straight at the keeper, and 67 in, midway point almost in the second half. It's Nice 0, Rangers 4.
Good spell of possession that for Rangers, kept the ball for a good minute or so, working it from side to side, eventually comes to Shefty in the box, so again was completely unmarked. Shot was never really going to test Bulka in the goal, straight at him, not enough power on it or angle, but good play from Rangers.
Rosario out to the right hand side for Lucia. A couple of changes coming, in fact 3 changes coming for Nice, as Mukoko completely fails to control the ball as it's played into him under really no pressure, and he might well be one of the players about to make way. Yilmaz and Dessers are stripped down there for Rangers, as you would imagine it'll be Shefty and Igman. Here come Rangers up for Diamonde from Tavernier. He can't keep a hold of the ball though, and Nice break down the left hand side. Challenged by McCausland, is penalised, and that will give both sides the opportunity to make the changes. So let me just try and keep a track of all that's going to happen here. So the first change for Nice is going to be the introduction of Evan Guesson. He will go up front, and also coming on, they showed a number 10 there, and there is no number 10. which isn't very helpful.
I was looking at the team sheet in front of us. Before the officials put up number 10, there's no number 10. I wasn't going to see it. So you try and work it out, Al.
Well, actually, maybe it's the Rangers change, isn't it? It's 10 for 3. Is Diamonde coming off? It's Yilmaz going on. I thought it would be Jefte that would come off, but so let's see, is Jefte going to stay at left back and Yilmaz play one forward, or vice versa?
Eagman for Dessers as well.
Yeah, Eagman for Dessers, that was the straight swap.
Yilmaz is going to kind of left.
Yeah, that's interesting, because earlier in the season Yilmaz played left back, right, and Jefte went one forward, but it's the other way around for now. I'll just suffice to say, Nice have made 3 changes. I'll give you the details of those when I get across them myself, but crucially the information is that Rangers have made the 2, and it's Dessers and Yilmaz on for Eagman and Diamonde. So Rangers continue to lead by 4 goals to 0 with 20 minutes remaining in the match. And Nice trying to come forward down the right-hand side with one of the players who has come on is Mohamed Ali Cho. As I say, I watched the game against Strasbourg on Sunday, and I thought he was their best player, but clearly there are different priorities for different coaches and different teams, and perhaps Fonquez is just almost forgetting about the Europa League, as again it's this time the young centre-back or left-back Nongju giving the ball away to Dessers, couldn't quite capitalise, and Nice win it back once more midway inside their own half. Ball played forward, cut out by Proper, halfway line, plays it forward to Yilmaz, good first touch from him, moves away from Lucy, bursts forward, Yilmaz in, can he make it 5, pokes it, keeper saves, comes out to Dessers, he spins, can't get the shot off, and goes back the way to Barron. Yilmaz was able to burst through the heart of that defence and get the shot off, with the defenders just in his wake almost, and could have been 5 for Rangers, and it might yet be, as Yilmaz tries again, and the keeper just pushes that away. Looked like he could have gathered that one in, but takes no chances, pushes it behind for a corner, and 71 played. It's Nice 0, Rangers 4.
Yilmaz does really well, but again, I mean, you've got to look at the defender. He picks the ball up and drives at the heart of the Nice defence, basically just wide open. He gets to about the penalty spot, and eventually they get a kind of half challenge in, and on the goalkeeper's got to make a save. The ball then gets recirculated and back to Yilmaz just at the edge of the 18. He gets a shot off, which I do agree, I think Bulka should have done better with, but he's tipped it around for this corner coming in.
Tavernier from the left hand side, right footed, swings it in near post, glanced goalwards by Dessers, but off target, and it will remain 4-0 to Rangers inside the final 20 minutes. We didn't really, as that substitution, or the whole lot of substitutions were taking place, you know, a little bit about Hamza Eagman, because we were probably surprised, and wouldn't have been alone in being surprised that he was given the nod tonight, but well, he backed it up with the 2 goals, didn't he?
He certainly did, and it's brilliant for the young man to get the opportunity in the first place. I mean, I think as I said before the game, in the limited time that he's had on the pitch, I don't think we've seen him at his best, really. But certainly tonight, that second goal especially was a touch of absolute class. It'll do his confidence no harm whatsoever.
Forward come Nice down the left-hand side. It's a good ball into the box, but Jefte able to just turn that back to Jack Butland. Almost a bit of confusion there between full-back and goalkeeper, but Jefte eventually gets it clear. Breaks to Lucy, right-hand side. He delivers it back into the box. McCausland can't get a hold of it, but it's lashed wide there on the left-hand side, and no threat to Jack Butland's goal there as the shot came in from the edge of the penalty area, and it remains Nice 0, Rangers 4, 17 minutes left to play.
There's another goal in this for Rangers if they want it. You know, Nice so defensively poor, and again they're committing a lot of players forward to attack. Rangers finding space and time if they just get a bit more quality.
Offside flag up against Dessers coming back there, and he really shouldn't have been offside, but free kick given to Nice just inside their own half. Rosario plays the short ball to Dembele. He comes forward and then plays it to one of the substitutes, Guessin. Nice looking to somehow make something from this game, but it Bunani running into trouble in the shape of Shefty. He flicks it out to the left-hand side for Raskan. Yilmaz in support, but so too is Shefty. Helps it on. Oh, he should have kept a hold of the ball. He's now managed to get it to Bayrami just at the edge of the box, but he's well challenged there by Gesson back doing some defensive work. The striker, he's lost out to Raskan, but it's a foul against Raskan. Free kicks awarded to Nice, but they take it too quickly, and Cho's never going to get on the end of that. It's all the way through to Butland. I mean, Nice, let's be honest, Stephen, have had an absolute horror show tonight.
I think that's putting it mildly, Alistair. Yeah, they've been incredibly disappointing, and you know they probably could point to the fact that they're missing a number of key players, and they've had to shuffle the pack a bit, and then obviously the centre half having to go off and a youngster coming on making his debut, etc, etc. But you still expect them to be able to professionally defend better than they have done, but you can't take anything away from Rangers, whose performance has been excellent.
Here's McCausland, back for Tavernier, flicks it on to Bayrami, edge of the box on the right-hand side, flashes it across. Yilmaz is there over the top, but he should have scored. Head in the hands as he came in at the back post, meeting the cross first time, but he knocked it over when he really should have been finding the back of the net, and it's still Nice 0, Rangers 4.
I think he thought the defender was going to get a touch on it and then kind of closed his eyes or took his eye off the ball, and then eventually just kind of hits him in the head.
Here's Dessers, left-hand side of the box on the angle, up against Rosario. What can he do here? Rosario sticking with him, gets it across goal. McCausland has to come back the way, though, to retrieve it. Plays it back to Tavernier. Rangers absolutely could get another goal here, the
honestly,
way this game is going.
Every time they go forward, they look scoring. Nice are just so passive now, giving up.
Bayrami, right-hand side, finds Tavernier just inside the box, takes a heavy touch, can't keep a hold of the ball, and Nice will come forward and try and move up the park. Raskan allows the referee then takes a Nice player out of the game as he tries to come forwards. Pass had already been played. Here's Gessan at the edge of the box. Can he find room for the shot? Yes, he can, but it's a tame one. A trundler into the arms of Jack Butland, and the referee offers apologies there to Dembele as he tried to come
sums
forward.
up their night, doesn't it? Even the referee's taking them out. Gessan there, showing his strength, really powerful guy. Manages to evade a couple of challenges, gets the shot away in his left foot, but he really choked it into the ground, and easy stuff for Butland.
Yeah, Rangers have it, middle of the park. It's Bayrami poking it out to Shefty on the halfway line, left-hand side. Plays it in for Raskan. Raskan, good first touch, then a good bit of play to get away from Lushi. Now it's Bayrami, just slowed down as Abdelmonem came back at him, and I was able to dispossess him as it's knocked away forward by Nongju, and forward now comes Buonani. Buonani has looked one of the more lively Nice players, you'd have to say. Barron just caught him late there, and the referee points at Conor Barnes to say, yeah, it's you who was the guilty party there, and it will be a free kick to Nice midway inside the Rangers half. Yilmaz just not kicked the ball away there, and he's pretty fortunate the referee didn't see that, as it's not really a night on which you have to pick up cheap yellow cards. Absolutely unnecessary. 13 to play. An incredible scoreline here. Nice 0, Rangers 4, and
they're going to get the win, but you'd like to come away with a clean sheet as well, Al.
Yeah. Jack Butland and his defence certainly will want that. So too Philippe Clement. Here's Lucy though with the free kick, chips it into the penalty area. No Nice player challenging, but it will break to Rosario left-hand side. Knocks it back to Dembele. And then it's Lucy, about 30 yards from goal. He's going to line up the shot here, straight at Jack Butland. Took a little skip off the turf there as he took that effort, but good goalkeeping, good hands from Jack Butland to preserve the clean sheet for now. At least 12 minutes to play. Nice 0, Rangers 4.
Yeah, I need a better effort than that to beat Butland from that distance. It was ambitious from Lucy. He caught it well enough, but straight down the throat of Jack Butland. And as you rightly point out, good hands from him.
Here's Bayrami, right-hand side, as McCausland's taken out of play, but play continues. Bayrami sends it in, looking for Dessers. It's won by one of the Nice defenders, but it'll break to Dessers. He's done well at the edge of the box, trying to find room for the shot. Feigns and then comes back in field, and then the defender's able to steal it off him as he again just over-elaborates when he might have got the shot away, as Rangers prepare to bring on young Bailey Rice, very rarely spotted in a first team jersey, but he's going to get a chance for the closing 10 minutes or thereabouts. The young man who high hopes for him as Yilmaz puts a dangerous ball in, but it's just a yard or so ahead of Dessers, who couldn't reach it, and here is going to be that final change, and it's Bayrami who's going to make way for young Bailey Rice.
That's good to see.
Yeah,
it's good to see, Al, isn't it? I mean, I think when the game is completely and utterly won and there's limited time left, then it's good for Philippe Clement to give the young man an opportunity. A young man with a lot of potential. A lot of people have heard talking about his qualities, and he's been very limited the time he's been given on the pitch. So a great moment for him.
Yeah, on he comes to replace Bayrami. Takes his place in the centre of the park. Looks like Barron's just going to step slightly forward. Slightly unusual position for him to adopt, the number 10, Conor Barron, but well, he's adapted to life at Rangers pretty well, so we'll see how he adapts to that position in the closing 10 minutes here. But a 4-0 lead to defend in these closing 10 minutes for Rangers, who, not in their wildest dreams, I don't imagine, would have thought about this kind of scoreline. But it's been one of those nights. Everything has gone right for them, everything has gone wrong for Nice. A lot of self-inflicted wounds there for the home side, who will remain, by the looks of it, on 2 points after 5 Europa League games. Here they come forward looking to start the comeback perhaps, but it's not going to happen now. And now Yilmaz picks up possession, he's pulled back there, and that'll be the most obvious yellow card. Therefore, Lucia, I think it was, coming back, trying to stop Yilmaz and stop the counter-attack.
He's looked sharp since he came on, Yilmaz, got to say that, showing a lot of power in his sprinting, and again they are getting away from Lucia, and you're right, yeah, you're not seeing easier decision for a referee to give a yellow card there.
You're listening to Sports Sound on a good night for Rangers in the Europa League. 4-0 they lead against Nice. 5th place in the French league, but significantly outplayed here by Philippe Clement's side, who have got to take great belief from this scoreline, from the performance and everything that goes with it. As Bailey Rice gets his first touch, slid out of play there on the far side though, and Rangers will have the throw-in, which Tavernier's in no great rush to take. I mean, it's just baffling though, isn't it, that Rangers can produce a performance like this and yet have been so, you know, so off it in the league for the most part.
As yeah, we've discussed it, Alan, and you know, it's difficult to put your finger on it. It really is. I think the biggest thing for me is that they're not having to play against a team that's set up in that kind of defensive shape, by chance.
Yeah, Guessarn at the edge of the box, and then I think Bailey Rice just clipped a Nice player at the edge of the box as he looked to get on the end of the 1-2.
Been booked here.
Yeah, and it was Laborde was looking to get on the end of it, and he was just taken down, and Bailey Rice goes into the referee's notebook for that challenge, and a chance here for Nice. So the free kick just about 22 yards from goal, slightly right of centre, and certainly an opportunity for the home side to get themselves on the score sheet. I mean, surely too late, but it'd be the most dramatic comeback ever if Nice were able to come back from 4 goals down in the final 8 minutes. But they do have a chance to get a goal back at the very least here with Buonanni. I think Lucia over the free kick here. Buonanni would be favourite on the left foot. Butlin's got a 4-man wall. It's cut off goal. Watch out, it's a cracking goal. And Nice do have a goal back. Top corner, Butlin flew to his left, but he was never getting there. And Buonanni gets on the score sheet for him and for Nice as well. It's a top quality strike from the free kick, and it's Nice 1, Rangers 4.
It's a really, really good free kick from Buonanni. You can see he fancied it, set up for a left footer, gets up and over the wall into the top corner. Jack Butland, no chance. Disappointing for Rangers. They had wanted the clean sheet. I mean, as you rightly point out, surely there is absolutely no chance of a comeback. But yeah, for Rangers' point of view, disappointing to lose that goal. Really haven't looked like scoring a goal too much in this second half. It comes from obviously the set play. Young Bailey Rice giving away the foul and being booked, and then it's a top quality finish. You've got to say the free kicks, high standard.
Yeah, it's Buonanni's first goal of the season, which somewhat surprises me because he's shown a couple of times now that he's got a really good shot on him with that left foot, but that one finds the back of the net from 22 yards, and Nice have a goal back, but surely not a way back into the game as Bailey Rice picks up possession just outside his penalty and plays it out to the left for Shefty, who flicks it on with the head to Yilmaz. He tries another elaborate little flick back to Shefty. It doesn't quite come off, but eventually gets to the Brazilian. Rangers have coughed up possession, but Yilmaz putting Abdelmonem under pressure at the back. Then Nongju knocks it back to his goalkeeper. We've got 6 minutes plus stoppage time left to play. Nice 1, Rangers 4. As the ball's played back to the goalkeeper once more with a lot of pace, but he does well to not only keep it in, but keep it under control and get it clear before Rangers can put pressure on him. Here's Rosario midway inside his own half, up against Dessers. Just plays it slightly to the left for Nongju. One of two players making his debut tonight off the bench, as he was also joined on the field by Iles Sali just in the latter stages here. Here's Luce, right hand side, out to the goal scorer Buonanni, as Nice look to narrow the deficit further. Rosario back out to the right hand side for Luce, 20 yards from the goal line, tries to get the ball into the box, but Yilmaz blocks it. Luce has another crack at it, has to go back to Abdelmonem. This time he plays it down the right wing, and there's the back heel by Buonanni through the legs of Shefty, and then Bailey Rice, who has been booked just a couple of moments ago,
Watch what he's doing.
Has to be careful because he was guilty of another foul there. The free kick's quickly taken. Buonanni was on his heels there, otherwise Rangers could have been in trouble, and he eventually brings Yilmaz to the ground trying to recover, and that was fortunate for Rangers because there was a quick free kick and it looked like Nice might have been in a good position, but Buonanni just wasn't on the same wavelength as Luce, and it's a free kick Rangers way, just a couple of yards from their own goal line. 5 minutes remaining of the 90 plus stoppage time. It is Nice 1, Rangers 4.
James Tavernier just having a wee word there with Bailey Rice, I think, just to say, watch what you're doing. You know, we've been booked, and that challenge was never a booking, but you know, doesn't want to be giving the referee any more ammunition.
Free kick to be taken then by Jack Butland just inside his penalty area, 2 or 3 yards off the goal line. Down the left hand side it goes, looking for Dessers, who flicks it inside. Rosario able to help it over the halfway line, breaks for Proper, who just thumps it forward, again looking for Dessers up against Abdelmonem, who's shown good strength to keep a hold of the ball there. Dessers, now it's Barron out to the right hand side. Tavernier, so much space, just flicks it on first time out to McCausland, right hand side. McCausland now about 15 yards from the goal line, goes back the way to Tavernier. McCausland takes over once more, coming in off that right flank, tries to play the pass forward to Rice, but it presents it straight to Guessin. Guessin will come forward down the left hand side, sliding challenge from both Raskan and Suter, eventually stops him in his tracks, knocks the ball out of play on the far side. Nice throw in, quickly taken. 4-1 they trail the home side as the Rangers fans rejoice, and the home fans get their camera phones and the lights out, but
it's like being at a Coldplay concert.
Well, I'll have to take your word for that, Steve.
You never seen them now, not your thing.
Lucy, right hand side into the penalty area, comes off the head of Proper. McCausland can't complete the clearance, so comes back to Rosario. Rosario, 25 from goal, takes a deflection on its way through, and it makes it more comfortable actually in the end for Butland, who kept his eye on it and then falls to the deck inside his 6-yard box. Rosario trying to redeem himself. He's been at fault for...
I don't think he can, in all honesty.
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, it's been some night for him, it really has. Barron again doing well, getting the block in on his shot, spins into there, and an easy take for Jack Butland.
Butland launches it over the halfway line. Just over 2 minutes left of the 90s. Tavernier plays it down the right, one for Dessers to go and chase. He'll get there first ahead of Nongju. Nongju tries to hold him up, he gets the ball back for Barron. Barron able to turn it back to Rice just outside the penalty area. He goes out to the right hand side to McCausland. Rangers just keeping possession very sensibly. Then Tavernier makes the burst forward. McCausland gets the ball to him as he kept it in. It's Dessers! Oh, put it wide! From 6 yards, Cyril Dessers with a glorious opportunity to make it 5-1. He chased it down completely unmarked and volleys it wide of the post. Incredible miss, and it remains Nice 1, Rangers 4.
I mean, you can only laugh. Tavernier does so well getting to the byline, clips it into Dessers. He should have headed it, never mind taking the touch on his chest. But when he does take the touch on his chest, I think he's 5 yards out with the whole goal at his mercy and puts it wide. I mean, dear.
That's an incredible miss. But fortunately for Cyril Dessers and Rangers, they're already comfortable in the game. It's another brilliant bit of play from Barr in the middle of the park, but the pass looking for Yilmaz doesn't quite live up to the original spin away from his man, and Nice able to pick up and come out to the right hand side for Cho up to the angle of the box on the right as they come forward. Jefty sticks with him though and sticks the boot in and knocks it behind for a Nice corner as we're in the final minute of the 90 and the fourth official preparing to show us exactly how much longer we've got to play. Rangers leading by 3 goals in the south of France and poised to move on to 10 points in the Europa League as the corner comes in from the right hand side. It's Nice head that gets to it, but it's well wide of target in the end, and nothing for Jack Butland to be too concerned about as he prepares to take the goal kick. And the fourth official down there, Jose Luis Munuera, will shortly indicate exactly how much added on time there will be as Butland plays it out to the left hand side to Jefty. Jefty forward, it's a good ball into the feet of Barron. Actually Raskin takes it off his feet and plays it out to Dessers. Then Raskin once more plays the pass just behind McCausland and it's going to go out of play. Just a couple of minutes added on. That's quite rare that you see as little as that, isn't it?
Yeah, the amount of subs we've had as well, but
no other stoppages beyond
the first half had quite a lot, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, 2 minutes then for Rangers to play before they will emerge with another brilliant result away from home in the Europa League. And you really have to give enormous credit to Philippe Clemont's players. They have shown great character as much as anything else to respond to the adversity and the criticism that's come their way, especially since that draw against Dundee United. Yilmaz should have done better there. It was a good bit of play from Tavernier, but Rangers in a good counter-attacking position, but Yilmaz couldn't keep a hold of it, and Nice pick up. Forward they come through Ndombele out to the left-hand side, looking for a second goal in the game for them, but they do trail by 4-1. It's another loose pass. Lucier dashes to keep it in and finds the goal scorer, Buonani. Buonani in off the right-hand side. Rangers plenty of bodies behind the box as Buonani into the penalty area, looking for Rosario. Come back to Guesson, looking to try and get the shot away. Tavernier whacks it off McCausland, breaks back for Guesson. That will come now to Bailey Rice, who just plays it back into a dangerous area. Eventually Barron gets it clear. Still the pressure on the Rangers defence, and Ndombele going down just at the edge of the box. The referee's given them another free kick. That one's even closer to the penalty area than the one from which they scored. It's the left-hand side this time, just a yard or two outside the box, and another opportunity here for Nice to get a second goal back, albeit this one's a trickier angle, you would have to say, than the one from which they scored, but certainly still an opportunity here, Stephen, for them to get a second.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I felt as though he threw himself a wee bit, to be honest with you. He batted the free kick, but it's maybe difficult from up here to tell if there was contact or not, but certainly not for a left footer this time, I would have thought.
No, it's over to the left-hand side, so you would think it would favour perhaps the right foot. I think it's Lucier is one of the players over it. Buonani, having scored that goal, is in and around the area as well, but bless you. It looks like it does favour the right foot as the referee just makes sure the Rangers wall is far enough back. Buonani is looking here as well, but it is going to be Lucier off the wall, comes back to him, goes for goal and lashes it wide, and it took a deflection on its way through. In fact, it poleaxed one of the Rangers players on its way through there, and Jefty it was who took a sore one, but he's back on his feet to defend this corner, and this will be pretty close to the last action.
Yeah, you'd have thought so. Well, after this corner, I think the referee will be blowing for time.
Play 3 minutes of added on time already when 2 were signalled as Rangers look to defend this perhaps final corner from the left-hand side as Nice come forward. Rangers get everyone back inside the penalty area as they look to hold on to the 4-1 advantage. The referee just making sure there's no shenanigans going on in that penalty area before the corner comes in. Excuse me. Left-hand side, and it comes. Bailey Rice gets his head to it at the near post, knocks it well clear. picked up by Ndombele. There is the final whistle. It is a remarkable evening in the south of France for this Rangers side, who have secured a second away victory in this Europa League. And their 7th point on the road, all told, to add to the 3 they got at home to FSP, which puts them on 10 after 5 games. It is a really astounding achievement for a side that has been well below par in the league, but they have saved their best performances for the European stage, and this is right up there with them, opening up a 4-goal advantage, 3-0 up at half-time as Czerny blasted them in front. Diamonde added to that with a cute finish on 38 minutes, and in first half stoppage time, Hamza Igman took advantage of a slack back pass and rounded the keeper to make it 3 into the second period, and Igman got his second of the evening in 54 minutes. Another mistake at the back, of which there were many in Nice colours over the course of the evening, no more so than Rosario, who presented the ball to Igman, then was nutmegged by the striker before he coolly slotted it beyond Marcin Bulka in the Nice goal to make it incredibly 4-0 to Rangers. There was a consolation 7 minutes from time for the home side as a free kick was awarded 22 yards from goal, and Buonanni hit a stunning strike past Jack Butland into the top corner. But that will not stop the Rangers fans away over to our left on the far side, parting as they are right now and applauding the players who have gone across to take their acclaim. A really phenomenal result and performance here on the Côte d'Azur for all those in light blue this evening. They have put themselves in a brilliant position for qualification, and maybe half an eye on reaching the last 16 through the automatic top 8. We will see a couple of tough games to come against Man United and Spurs before a home game against Union Saint-Gilloise. But for this evening, the celebrations will continue for the Rangers fans, because it finished here. Nice 1, Rangers 4.
Following Scotland's teams